If you wanna like 500 stones with me and Andrew, and I guess this Chance Ellison from the video store. Hey, go buy
Hey!
the shit.
Oh, that's it. Okay, great.
Yeah,
Welcome back to 500 Stones, everybody. Brooklyn, I gotta applaud you for that one. That was great.
it gets better and better every time. I just gotta amp up the song each week.
Uh, Honestly, once you get to like Bach or Mozart, I'll be the most impressed.
That
Um,
harpsichord solo though.
but yes, welcome back to like 500 Stones. We are in the middle of the 300 range. If I'm not mistaken, we are at 350 to 326.
That sounds right.
Yeah, and today's guest we have Chance Ellison, as Brooklyn so craftfully let everyone know. Chance, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it. Uh, have you Did you ever like take a look at this list before we asked you to be on, just like out of like pure curiosity or anything like
Uh,
that?
I see. I didn't know that did a whole revamp of the list. Like when you sent me my section, I'm like, wait, BTS, isn't this list like 10 years old? And then I realized, oh, there was a revamp that they did last year. So I went and looked over to see what like actually like made the new count, what changed, what's like what's on top or that used to be, what's on the list that fell off. So yeah, it's actually like really interesting to go take a look at the new 500.
Nice. We here, Brooklyn and I, have not looked at this list at all.
Oh really?
So
Nope.
we're going in blind. And
Nice.
with that,
Absolutely.
we're going to start with number 350, which is John Prine's Angel from Montgomery. Okay.
Prine. John Prine.
Prine, sorry. My respect to the late John Prine. So I only heard this song for the first time like maybe a week ago. And I friggin' love this, actually. There is such a warm texture to this song, even though lyrically speaking, it's a little depressing. For those of you who don't know, it's about a middle-aged woman kind of stuck in a dead-end relationship. Her husband was like a rambling man, but now he has like nothing to say in the relationship at all anymore, and they're kind of stuck in this doldrum life. But there's an ounce of hope in it as well, which I think the warm instrumentation and melody really does bring out to it, and it just sounds incredible. Brooklyn, what about you?
So I know for John Prine, in particular, he is much more beloved and adored up here. I know whenever he died, it was considered like it was in the vein of like Stan Rogers or like if Gordon Lightfoot had passed away. Kind of a bigger folk artist. I should be more into it, but I agree with you. The song is good. I haven't found that thing yet to attach me to John Prine though.
And Chance.
Yeah, John Prine's an artist I'm a little familiar with before this list. I got to hear the song for the first time a few days ago, and yeah, I think the song is excellent. I really do love like saltgrass folk songs like this,
Mm-hmm.
and you like this Bob Dylan stuff, the Mountain Goats, and yeah, I think this is very much in the vein of that, and yeah, I think it's like a very like quietly powerful song where it also it's the tone that's tonally it's not really conveying what the lyrics are, but it's kind of the point
Mm-hmm.
where it's kind of something like Outkast Hey Ya, where you gotta like really pay attention to it if you want to like get like what he's going for. But no, yeah, I think the song is actually quite beautiful, and I'm actually really glad I discovered it because of this.
Yeah, and I think what's really smart about the production on this is that it lets the words be up at the front of the mix, so it's very clear what they're saying. Even though, as you said, Chance, tonally it's kind of different than what the lyrics are going for. And with that, we're gonna go to 349, "Time of the Season" by the Zombies. You know what? I'm gonna let Chance go first on this because I want to say something that I think might throw people off.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. This is a song that like I was one of the songs that like I've known this song for years, but I could never like fully place it. Like I didn't know. I could recognize if it was played on the radio or something, but I could never like place like I couldn't tell you who sang. I couldn't tell you the name of the song. But like yeah, so once I discovered it, like I really adored it. It's something you would expect from a band called the Zombies.
No, it's
Uh,
not at all.
But no, yeah, like I love like the whole intro. I love the whole like like all bass, and then when you go into like the pipe organ stuff, and like it's sort of like Beatles-esque, and I love the Beatles. So yeah, I think this is a great like 60s. I don't know when this came out, but it feels like a great 60s rock
I'm pretty
song.
sure it was
So
the 60s because they were
it
like
feels
part
like
of the
it.
British invasion.
Yeah, this very much feels like the 60s, and yeah, I think it's a really fantastic tune.
Yep. Just double checking. 1968. Brooklyn.
I used to really, or not used to. I do like this song. I didn't realize it was this. I didn't realize it was a Zombies until a couple weeks ago. I think the chorus does a really good job in like how it starts off kind of eerie, but then it resolves itself in the end. Like when they get to especially like when they say season. But what I hate about this song, and once you realize it, it kind of sticks with you. That electric organ solo sucks. It's awful. It's not good. It's he's taking.
You're not good.
They're taking a lot of liberty, and like there's a difference between sliding and sweeping, and just kind of like spazzing out and playing random notes. He's hitting notes so quickly that they don't like register, they don't recognize, so it comes off as fuzz, and it just kind of makes it all like messy when everything else in the song is pretty like smooth and clean.
What are we doing? Okay.
we're only 2 in. This is where we are. Okay, cool.
Okay. I'm going to say something. I'm a big fan of the Zombies, actually. They're one of my favorite bands of that era. This is a song the Doors wish they made.
True.
This is the kind of stuff the Doors wish they made. Not to say that the Doors didn't have some good songs, but this is what the Doors wanted to be. Let's be honest.
It does feel like a Doors song. Now you say, I'm like, yeah, no, it does feel very much like Morrison.
It really does, especially the keyboard.
Yeah,
like that entire keyboard part. I would be shocked if they didn't inspire the Doors in some way whatsoever. But I love the atmosphere that this song has, just from the production alone and the melodies and like the harmonies. It's haunting almost, but it's also kind of seductive, which it adds its own little. Yeah, it adds its own little flavor, especially with like the "What's your name? Who's your daddy?"
I think it's the drum line in that song in this song that helps with that like seductive kind of feel, because it's just like the floor tom is like the doom doom, and it kind of allows it to have almost like a swing.
Yeah, so I friggin' love this song. Let's see if I love the next one as much. Number 348. If my computer. There we go. 348. Virginia Plain by Roxy Music. Yeah, this one's interesting. I like this one a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I really like this song a lot, but it's just a weird song to see in this place of the list, because it's got this wild, frantic energy, and the lead vocals are so unique and kind of twisted in like this weird David Byrne-esque yelpy kind of sound to it, but just at a higher register. So I really like the song a lot, but I'm not sure that this is just the right place for it. I see where it could be inspirational to like other musicians, but I don't know about this placement. Chance, what about you?
Yeah, this is definitely a strange one to have, especially like this. If this was like in like the like the mid 400s, I'd get it. 348's a bit pricey. Something I really do about the song, the fact that like the pacing is just, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just strange. Like at a certain point, the song just stops.
Yeah, it's sudden.
It's just like, oh, we're done here. Okay, cool. But no, yeah, this is again, Roxy Music's not a band I'm not like really familiar with. I've heard a few of their songs, but yeah, so I actually do quite like one of band. I don't think I'd have this higher than Time of the Season or the other one we discussed,
Angel from Montgomery.
Angel from Montgomery. But no, I actually do like this tune.
Yeah, Brooklyn. And you are muted.
No, there we go. I pressed the wrong button. But yeah, no, this song slaps. And when you mentioned David Byrne, and you're like, "Oh, this isn't for me," I'm like, really? Like, this is very.
No, I didn't say it's not for me. It's just that I think I like it. It's just a little too high.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, this is yeah, this is definitely influential in terms of like the Talking Heads, and I think like the Strokes as well. And
Yeah, that art like, garage rock kind of
that was happening around that time. But yeah, first time I've heard this, and it's probably going to stay in the mix.
Oh, that's high praise, honestly.
Yeah.
All right.
High praise.
What's that? I missed it.
Andy Samberg's as Nicolas Cage. That's high praise.
Okay. Number 347. Heartbreak Hotel by Elvis Presley. Brooklyn, how about you start us off with this one?
Overrated.
Fuck off.
This is awful. The person who mixed
Canada.
this needs to get fired, like yesterday. Because I think what happened was whenever they were coming up with this song, they had that walk in for the bass line, and they're like, that's awesome. Let's use this for every time the bass comes in. You don't need to do that. And especially like when you get to that verse, like when that's supposed to have that punch, they put it like in the the treble in the mid, like there's no bass in there at all, so it doesn't have like that punch. And like there are better artists in this time doing blues better, like Mama Thornton, Chuck Berry. No, Elvis Presley is not good, and why he is remembered as much as he is, no.
Wow. I'm going to be honest, and I'm not, to the people listening to this or watching this, I'm not kidding when I say I did not see that coming whatsoever. I like Elvis Presley. I think that he has some great songs. This is not one of my favorites of his, though. And it's just like, it just sounds like they wanted to do a Fats Domino song, and they kind of rushed through it without giving it time to breathe and figure it out. It's not that I think that this is necessarily a bad song. I just think that it's kind of weak when you put it up against other Elvis songs that probably deserve to be on this list a lot more. Chance, you had a good reaction to Brooklyn.
Yeah, but like just coming to the throat for that man died for your sins, Brooklyn. Show some respect. That man died for the sins of Hawaii. You will show some goddamn respect. That being said,
Hawaii representative Elvis Presley.
Hawaii's own Elvis Presley will not be disrespected like this. Not on this show. But that being said, I'm not like the biggest fan of Elvis. But again, I don't dislike the guy. In fact, there are a lot of songs that I do like. This is not one of the ones I will tune into very often, unless I'm really in the mood for it. But no, I think calling this a bad song is just I think that's a little much. I do think that like yeah, there is. I think lyrically it's sound. I like Elvis's vocals on this one, and you can clearly see why like he was. You see why he was as big as he was. Well, one of the reasons he was as big as he was in the day because like he was there's like this like seductive quality to him, and like this is like the thing like he had like a lot of charisma to him. He had a lot of sex appeal to him, and you can hear that just in his voice. The fact that he can convey that just like through vocal, I think it's actually like really. I think it's really fascinating. So yeah, I think the Elvis bitch slap's a little necessary.
I'm sure this is not the last Elvis Presley song that we're going to see on this list.
I hope
there's
not,
one.
It's also not my favorite. But...
Yeah, there's one that I'm hoping gets on here a lot higher.
There's one that needs to be on here. I will say that, but other than that, I'm fine with him not being on here at all.
I'm very curious to find out what that is. Hopefully we find out later. Otherwise, moving on to 346, we have Dynamite by BTS. And I'm going to say this right now. It's a little early. It's a little early for this song to be on this list. Do I like this song? Surprisingly a lot. Because I don't... Okay, BTS fans, here you go. I don't really get it. For the most part, like I think they're okay. I don't have any real problems with them, but this is easily their best song that I've heard. But I think that the hyper love for them to the point where this is in the mid 300s what, like 2 years? Yeah, no, 1 year after its release. It's a little too much. Brooklyn.
I don't have much to say on the song. BTS is, for the most part is fine. They're kind of like Larry Cable Guy. It's like you're kind of just screaming.
Whoa, wait a minute.
How are
What?
How are you so popular? Because when you break it down individually, like their music is great, and their lyrics, obviously they don't have as much of a grab to like the Eastern audience as Korea and whatnot, but like it's catchy, and like that's what pop all needs to be right now. What frustrates me though is that we're seeing BTS, but we haven't seen Dua Lipa yet, and I think if we're putting those two together, or if we're comparing those two, especially for 2020 and like what came out, she needs to be represented, I think, in some capacity. Whereas, like, yeah.
All right. Wow. Chance.
I just love the like BTS layer the Cable Guy. Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into K-pop at all. But I just don't listen to it. I've heard a few BTS songs. I surprisingly heard, I think I heard this in the trailer once. So this is my first time actually hearing the full song. It's like fine, disposable pop. If I'm gonna put a BTS song on here, just a quick question: have you ever heard the song by them, "Fake Love"?
I believe I have, but I would
Okay.
need to like listen to it to make sure.
If I was going
one
to put a BTS song on this list, first of all, I would not put it this high, and it would be "Fake Love" because I think that song is actually better than this, and it might be on here later. I'm not sure. Wouldn't be shocked, but yeah, like I think putting BTS this song this high is a little.
Yeah, and like it's a good song. Maybe if they did the list again in like
Again,
25 years,
it's
fine.
It's fun. It's poppy. Just it's just putting it at 346, like the 500 greatest songs of all time. I think is a little much.
Yeah, and this is above things like California Dreamin', and They Reminisce Over You, and like things like that.
Right, this is over Troy.
Yeah, it's over Troy.
Oh, that's fucking bullshit. No,
by almost like 50 something.
That is crap. That needs to be like in like the low 400s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Number 345 is "It's Too Late" by Carole King. So just real quick before BTS between Elvis Presley and Carole King. All right, BTS fans, we're gonna stop. Chance, I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah, this is one like Carole King she was known for like being like more subdued artist. She's more of like more of a sentimental type, and this one really kind of bad because it's about being too late to fix something, too late to go back. And yeah, this does that really well. Like, Carole King's an actress, a singer who admittedly kind of puts me asleep at points, but I think the meaning of this song is actually it's quite good, and I do get it. I do think it's actually I think it's a well written song. It's just not one I listen to very often.
Brooklyn.
The first time that I heard this song was for this list, and it's incredible.
What?
Yeah, no, I had I'm sure I've heard it on the radio before, but like this is the first time being able to associate the song with Carole King.
I'm more surprised that you looked at the list ahead of time. How dare you? We have a pack.
Again, I Canadian cheated where I listened to the songs out of order. But
cheating. As long as you don't do it in the right order, we're good.
But this should almost be like a Bond song. Like it feels like it should be like one of those themes. But yeah, no, reminds me a lot of like the Carpenters, like heavy strings, much more ballady. But that was kind of the style for this decade.
I think I like this song more than the two of you. I love this song. Carole King, I'm a little bit with Chance on where some of her music, it's a little too soft, a little too relaxed. But I think this one has like just enough like undercurrent. No. Whatever. I'll come up with the word later. I'll wake up in a cold sweat screaming about it. But it's got a good like subtle tensity to it that I really, really like, especially when the strings come in. And honestly, it's just like her voice is perfect for this melody. It absolutely is so perfect. It is so rich and luscious and just has this wonderful color to her voice. It's just one of those songs that's expertly delivered. I think that this song is actually kind of incredible. It's probably my favorite Carole King song overall.
Have you
That
ever heard the
she
Care Bears?
herself.
You ever heard the Care Bears theme?
That's top three. Top three.
Okay. As long as it's in the list.
Yeah. As long we'll probably see that later on this list.
You better. She
Number
she
three.
didn't sleepwalk that song for nothing.
So Carole King to Iron Man by Black Sabbath. Quite the tonal whiplash.
What an order.
Yeah. Brooklyn, let's have you start with this. You're a big Black Sabbath fan.
I mean, yeah, like not really a huge like Black Sabbath fan, but Ozzy Osbourne's pretty cool. Zach Wilde is awesome. I would say this is a lot of people's first time listening to doom metal. Without even really realizing it. Like whenever the song opens, it's that bend of the E string and like that very slow sort of chuggy riff that would eventually get like kind of lampooned in The Simpsons. Nelson Muntz used it as his class president theme song. But the like the solo in this is really cool. Builds up a lot of momentum and whatnot. If we're seeing Iron Man here, we should probably be seeing another Black Sabbath song much further down the road. I would say we're gonna see another song like sub 200. But yeah, this is cool, and like obviously whenever Iron Man came out in 2008, I think it got like another like Bohemian Rhapsody-esque push. Yeah, kind of like it's the right amount of like not necessarily licensing, but like product placement. Like you could never make a song about Captain America or like the Hulk and not like have
so much
stay as long as this.
All right, I'm just gonna like break the weirdness that Brooklyn put up. I think Brooklyn's actually right. I think this is like Introduction to Metal 101. Honestly, this was the song that introduced me to Black Sabbath, and it still holds up really well. However, I also think that there's another better Black Sabbath song that should be coming later on down the line. I think Brooklyn probably picked one where they had Dio as their front man. However,
oh no,
heaven and hell. Chance.
I will say I do like Sabbath, Dio Sabbath, but not as much as Ozzy Sabbath. But yeah, I think that you're right. This is like one of the songs we play when you're just getting into metal. Has one of the most iconic guitar riffs of all time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like any kid who has a guitar like wants to learn to play this riff just because like it's like the da 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 da.
It's the kind of riff that gets banned from guitar stores forever.
Exactly. Yeah, but no, yeah, I think the song is. I think the song still holds up. I think that Ozzy's vocals on it are excellent. It's paced really well. It doesn't go as hard as other Black Sabbath songs. We might talk about later. But no, yeah, I think that this is for the placement of this. I think it's a good place to put it.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a very strong place for this to land. Let's see what 343 is. The total whiplash of this episode is kind of something. So we go from Iron Man by Black Sabbath to What a Fool Believes by the Doobie Brothers. Let's see. You know what, Chance? Let's start with you this time.
Yeah, it's another one of those songs that like I knew the melody, I knew the words. I couldn't place the name of the song or the artist. Has one of my favorite misheard lyrics of all time, which is the white man has the power.
I heard that too, actually. I
remember that song. I'm like, wait a minute, what'd you say? But yeah, I think the song is great. And looking at the years, it's 79. Yeah, this feels like an intro to like 80s like pseudo techno. It feels like the kind of transition from like the 70s, like psychedelic, punkish rock to like what the 80s would ultimately bring us. So yeah, I think this is a fun little tune.
So I'm gonna sound like I hate the song more than I do, because I don't hate the song. I like the song, but out of all of the Doobie Brothers songs, to make this list, and I'm very genuinely nervous this is going to be the only one by
The
them.
only one.
Yeah. Michael McDonald can be a very good singer, but he always sounds like he's singing underwater. And the instrumentation in this song is just not helping, because I hate whatever keyboard setting they put this synth into for this, because it is so grating for some reason. Just that boop 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 boop. I can't even do the melody right now. I'm so mad. But I don't hate the song. It's just not the Doobie Brothers song that I would put on this list. Almost literally anything from their earlier era, not the yacht rock era. Brooklyn.
If there's one Doobie Brothers song that I would put above this, it's the only one that I think is better, and that's Blackwater.
Yeah.
Just the way that song ends, I think needs to be like on this list for that. But I actually love Michael McDonald's voice. I don't have to understand what he's saying, but I still appreciate what he brings. I like the keyboards aren't good, but I think it's the right tone for the 80s, because a lot of it was just adding effect for the sake of adding effect. I think it has a nice contrast, but yeah. Michael McDonald is one of those people that, and you might see, did he do Love Lift Us Up Where We Belong?
No, that was Joe Cocker.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Anyways, he should
two very different voices.
Yeah, no, like Joe Cocker does nothing like Michael McDonald.
No, but yeah, I'm glad that he's on here, just purely for the memes.
But I do want to hear Mike McDonald love us up where he belongs.
Lift us up where we belong. Hold on, I didn't do the underwater thing. 342, Promised Land by Chuck Berry. It's a Chuck Berry song. No, but seriously, I actually freaking love this song. I'm not wrong though when I say that it's a Chuck Berry song. It does have that Chuck Berry like rhythm and sound and drive to it.
Oh,
that a lot of his other songs
have. It has the exact same guitar sound as both Johnny Be Good and Run Run Rudolph and everything.
Oh, and Run Run Rudolph too. You're right. But honestly, this is still a song that I absolutely love. It's got that Southern old school rockabilly kind of charm to it. Lyrically, it's really interesting. Chuck Berry is just one hell of a performer. He throws himself into almost every song that he's ever done. If you like Chuck Berry, you will absolutely love this song. If you don't, I say give the song another chance. It's still great. Brooklyn.
This song is great. I agree with Chance where a lot of the guitar riffs kind of sound the same, but I think even now when I listen to people, not necessarily cover this song, but there's a lot of bands here that'll try and cover Johnny Be Good, and they do a very lazy guitar cover where they're just they're just going up, they're going up and down, or they're going up and down. Whereas with Chuck, you can tell, you can hear in the record that he's just downstarting the entire time, and that changes kind of the effect and the atmosphere that you have in the song. And I think that shows how much that Chuck was paying attention to paying attention to how the song was presented and whatnot. I like the overproduction, or not the overproduction, but the adding of stuff in here. There are some pianos in here that initially could sound like overwhelming, but I think they work really well. Kind of similar to like Great Balls of Fire. I get a similar kind of sense in that. But yeah, no. If there is there is one other thing I want to say, because this reminds me of another song. Because one thing that we haven't seen yet on this entire list in the entire series, we haven't seen a single Christmas song. And if there's a song that I think could go in here as like a replacement, but has sort of the same style, Run Run Rudolph could slide right in here, and I think it would make sense.
Yeah, that's what we're going with. Okay.
I don't know. Okay, Chance.
Yeah, no, Chuck Berry is an artist who just meant. Yeah, everyone. No, Rudolph. That's the one. No, Chuck Berry is an artist who's always been very important to me, because he's someone who I think people really underestimate just how instrumental he was in like breaking down color barriers in music, because he's like one of the guys who was like a massive face in rock and roll, which was a genre that like notoriously had a hard time breaking into. And this dude who just like is an incredible guitarist, had so much energy and just so much charisma when he performed. He was a hell of a performer. And yeah, songs like this show why. And yeah, I really do love Promised Land. I imagine there's gonna be like other Chuck Berry songs high. I'd be surprised if Johnny B. Good never showed up. It's probably gonna be a little higher, much higher on this list. But yeah, Promised Land I think is an incredible tune from an incredible artist.
I'd be shocked if Johnny B. Good isn't in like the top 150. Like anywhere outside of that, I'd be shocked. All right. With that, we're going to move to 341, which is I Am a Believer by the Monkees. Chance, how about we start with you?
I mean, like a lot of, I'm a little younger than both of you. Like, so, like at my age, we're introduced a song from one thing that is Shrek. You guys used the Smash Mouth version. So yes, can I surprise with like a much younger Chance Ellison realized that was actually not original. This was based on a classic song by the Monkees, a band they actually grew up to really enjoy. And yeah, I do prefer the classic version better. I think that this is it feels like a good classic 60s love song. It's poppy. It's really catchy. It's a bit of an earworm. I don't mean that as an insult, but yeah, I actually do like this song.
Brooklyn.
This song is incredible. I was just looking up the name of the lead singer, Mickey Dolenz. This might, and like I remember when the video came out, this is maybe one of the first examples of a band where the drummer is a lead singer. And I can't remember if there's any bands before these guys where that was as prominent. But it's like the keyboard riff in this is really cool. I think that's like the catchiest part and kind of what has everybody going back. When he gets to the end and he's just wailing on Believer, that is such a hard thing to do when you're covering the song, because like this can be an exhausting song, like especially if you were doing this like later on in a set. And I just love that. I love that raw emotion in the end, because you really wouldn't see that. You wouldn't see like that level of expressionism, I guess, until later on.
This song frustrates the hell out of me.
Of all the adjectives to describe this song, frustrating is not one I thought you'd pick.
Here's my thing.
Oh boy.
I've never really liked Neil Diamond as a songwriter, and he was the lead songwriter for this.
Okay.
And you can tell it's a Neil Diamond song when I hear it. And it's just like, out of all of the Monkey songs, because this is easily their most popular song. It was their longest running song in the Billboard charts. It's the one that's had the most cultural like significance and long lasting. Like, the fact that this is the song that's probably going to be the only Monkey song on the Rolling Stone 500 over things like Daydream Believer or I'm Not Your Stepping Stone or Last Train to Clarksville, it's just so frustrating to me that out of their...
What's that?
that out of their entire discography, this is the one that everyone seems to love the most, and this is the one that's going to end up on this list.
Bar, I'm
And
telling you, it's Shrek. It's all because of Shrek. It is
It's
all
talking. Yeah,
because
it's
of Shrek.
talking.
Put the Smash Mouth version on here, then.
Put the Eddie Murphy version on here.
Yeah, put the Eddie Murphy on here, Rolling Stone, you cowards.
Daydream Believer, I think, should be on this list. Maybe in the mid 400s, but yeah, I do agree. Because that song has held up quite a bit.
Yeah, I do like Daydream Believer.
Mid 400s, how dare you? Number 340, White Man and Hammersmith Peleus by The Clash. Not the Clash song I would pick. Really not. Because I'm actually a really big fan of The Clash. I love their stuff, even though Cut the Crap is a bad album. But it's another one of those things where, like, I get why it's here. I get the influence that it had on other artists that came after it. I just think that it's the wrong Clash song to have on a top 500 songs of all time when you have things like Should I Stay or Should I Go, or hopefully London Calling's on this list somewhere. So while I'm not as frustrated with this one as it was the last one, I just think it's a song that doesn't really represent this, how good this band really is. Chance.
I mean, I do imagine there's going to be another Clash song on this list somewhere. Like, when you make London Calling, which is one of the most influential punk albums of all time, there's no way this is the only entry. If this is, then something really went wrong over Rolling Stone. But yeah, no, I think that for the mid 300s, just with the idea in place that there's going to be other Clash song, at least one more Clash song later on the list, I think this is a pretty good spot for it.
Honestly, if London Calling is not on this list anymore, I'm going to turn the world into what that song projects. Brooklyn.
Yeah, I agree. There should be two other songs here, and I argue they should be in place of this one. We probably will see London Calling later, and then we should probably see Should I Stay or Should I Go, sometime.
Or Train in Vain, please.
Yeah, but no, this song, it's two different ideas. I think the backing for this is very not straightforward, but it's much more traditional rock and roll. Like you have like the harmonica and whatnot, and like the lead vocals on this, they're adding the same effect that they do for a lot of their songs, and it doesn't mix. Like they're adding in like a bunch of like reverb and delay, and this would be the one time where it's like you don't need that. I understand that's a part of like your sound, but like when that sound doesn't apply to whatever song you're trying to make, and like this could be an incredible song storytelling wise, but musically it's two different ideas.
Yeah, a good song, just once again not the Clash song I would pick. 339 1999 by Prince. All right, so this song is fantastic. The ending is a little too long, I will say. I think it overstays its welcome like just a hair. But honestly, the last time I heard this song is when I realized, wow, lyrically this song's a lot bleaker than the music makes it out to be.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty much the world's coming to an end, so let's party. Like that just threw me off so much. It was that weird dichotomy thing where it's like kind of bleak lyrics, but really upbeat, like happy kind of music that we had talked about before. So this is probably in my top 5 Prince songs. So I'm really glad it's here. Brooklyn.
I think you said me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah, no, I would agree with you, Andrew. This is also my top 5 Prince songs. I think this is one of the. I know Coho talks about it a lot, and considering how much shit he gives on Prince, his guitar work in this, I think, is incredible. it stays fresh throughout. It stays fresh throughout. I think it's actually one of the things in the end that kind of keeps it going, because I kind of don't want the song to end. Like you could honestly just say 2000 party over oops at a time. So say we're gonna party like it's 1999. Like you could loop that and you could release that now and that it'd become a banger. Just because of how much not emotion, but just like how much fun they're having, and just like the bounce and the kind of the energy of it all.
Yeah,
And
Prince is one of my favorite artists of all time. Like, I think the guy was just absolutely incredible. I'm not sure. I've done a Prince ranking song, but this is definitely top 10. And it's a song that I always forget how much I love it until I listen to it again. Yeah, I think lyrically it's fantastic. I think one of the great has a great blend of being both, like, lyrically potent, like lyrically, what's what I'm looking for, lyrically provocative, while also being like just like a real like fun like dance. Like you can totally see it like probably played in a lot of 80s dance clubs back in the day.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I think that Prince was an artist. There was never really anybody quite like him. And he transcended genres, decades. Just he was anything you put him to, he was able to do it. He just loved making music, and I swear there has to be more Prince songs above this. Again, there's not more Prince songs above this, but this is a great first one to look at.
If honestly, I would be shocked if something like When Doves Cry is not higher than this.
When Doves Cry better be on here. Purple Rain better be on here.
Purple Rain, yeah.
Let's go crazy. I think
Let's Go Crazy better be on here.
Yeah, that could be up there. Yeah, you could probably there could probably be like 8 to 10 Prince songs that I would not be surprised to make this list overall.
Oh, absolutely, because like he was just like that good of an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when like I know people like are split on like his vocally, but even as a writer and as a performer, even if you didn't like his vocal, he made up for that because he had such a presence on the mic and on stage. Like, again, there has not been another artist like Prince. There may never be another artist like Prince Rogers Nelson.
I agree. I want to bring up this. I don't remember what the name of this thing was called, but it was like a very super short documentary on his Super Bowl performance.
Oh my god, that was incredible.
Yeah.
Where right before they go on, people are like, "So Prince, just so you know, it's gonna rain. Is that gonna be like a problem or anything?" And he goes, "Can you make it rain harder?" Like that's the kind of
like showman. He was just like that guy. He was a showman. Like first and foremost, he was a showman.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Prince. All right, so number 338. Hey, more Black Sabbath. Paranoid this time. I think this is the first time in an episode where an artist has come up twice in the same episode. And this is my favorite Black Sabbath song. I love this song. The drive, the groove, the energy, just the manicness that Ozzy Osbourne performs this song with. It's incredible. It makes your heart race, but it does it in a way where it's still incredible to listen to. And it's that energy and that drive that this song carries, that it's able to control the melody that it has without getting too wild. So it still sounds fantastic, but there's that slight edge that it just really, really works out nicely. Chance, how about you?
No, yeah, I agree. This is my favorite Black Sabbath song. I think the placement above Iron Man is the right call. And yeah, this song, it just starts off at 100 miles an hour and just keep his foot on the gas. And the fact that like they keep that going, keep you into it. And it's also just like it's a real like headbanger of a metal song. Like I really do love the song quite a bit. So yeah, I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see it placed here.
Brooklyn.
Another great song from Guitar Hero 3. I believe this opened the third set, I think, in that game. This is not the best Black Sabbath song, I think, for me. I would put War Pigs above this, and like whenever we were talking about Iron Man, like I would put War Pigs in the top 100. That song.
Wow.
Yeah, just that is an incredible lick, and the way that Ozzy's playing off of that with Call and Answer. But this song is as well is great. I like the guitar lick in this. And yeah, like how Ozzy is almost able to like kind of like ride the wave in that, and then he's able to pop right back out. They're able to throw in like a solo. They can keep going on the riff. And then even this song in general, how much controversy it got, and it kind of shaped Ozzy and kind of Black Sabbath in a way, and like how and like what they're talking about in songs, because like the last line, a lot of people misheard it as "I want you to end your life."
That's.
But he's like, no, I want you to enjoy life. And what was that dress? Black and white, blue and
black and blue, gold and white.
Yeah, it's like that. Are the lyrics "end your life" or "enjoy life"? You can make arguments for either or.
I'm gonna be honest.
I don't think Ozzy was calling for a bunch of people to commit suicide on his behalf.
No,
Tipper Gore probably had a field day with that one.
Yeah.
So number 337 is see, there's more tonal whiplash, guys. That's the theme of this episode. Believe by Cher. Do you believe in love after love? Brooklyn.
So jot this one down in the record books, but this is the first song that I ever fell in love with. I was 4 years old, and I think we were driving to the hospital. I think we were going to visit my brother. And I remember hearing this on the radio, and it was this and Rod Stewart's version of "I Wish I Knew What I Do Now," or "Ooh La La," I guess it would be. Yeah, I fucking love this song. It is a guilty pleasure. I mean, like, knowing what I know now kind of makes a lot of sense. But this is very much a gay man's anthem. They just kind of throw it on. Yeah.
Thing is, you're right. That's why I'm laughing.
It's everything that I love about the '90s, and like she has so much effect on her voice. And it's like this is the only kind of time in her career where she could probably have gotten away with that. Like I think this was kind of seen as like a comeback for her, wasn't it?
It's one of her many comebacks.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
There's a few of those.
I mean, sorry, of the comebacks, this is probably her most notable. But but yeah, no. 4-year-old me is dancing in the van right now.
Yeah. Honestly, Brooklyn, it might be one of the first songs that I ever fell in love with too. Hold on, when did this come out? It came out in 1998. Okay, so I was about 7 at that time. So that's about the right time. But it's aged so incredibly well, and the reason for that is the production. The production on this song is perfect. Just the way that the guitar, like that ostinato guitar sounds when it comes, I can't speak. When it comes in, and it just has this like ringing effect to it that dun, 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 dun. And just it's the perfect amount of auto-tune on her vocals. Like it's the correct use of auto-tune, where it's actually enhancing the personality of the singer instead of trying to cover up their flaws. Yeah, but it's funny. She's been releasing songs since the 60s. And 1998 Cher is probably my favorite era. So for that kind of longevity for an artist, it's impressive, especially for a song like this to be their best. Chance.
There's one more song that should be above this.
Is it If I Could Turn Back Time?
If I could.
Yeah, that was the 80s Cher comeback. This was the 90s Cher comeback. And between the two, this is the one I do like more. I don't partake in like the big Believe love affair that you guys were having. But no, I do think this is a fun song. Yeah, it's a great dance. Brooklyn is right. It does feel like something to be playing in every single gay club in Miami. But no, yeah, I do think that the fact that Cher can come back, where like you said, she's making music this point for 4 decades, and she can come back and make something that just feels so of the time, but can also just feel like incredibly timeless. I think it's actually really really phenomenal what she was able to do with Believe. So yeah, I think this is actually a really good spot for her.
Yeah. Honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I might put this song in the 200s. I know it's crazy, but
I don't know. We only have room in the top 200 for one Cher song, and I think it is. I think it's still going to be If I Turn Back Time.
okay. Moving on. Hall & Oates, She's Gone, Philadelphia's Own. Let's start with Chance on this one.
Yeah, this is a Hall & Oates tune that I don't go back to very often. This is one I'd heard like maybe a few times, but yeah, if Hall & Oates song is gonna be on here, okay. Going into something, this is the only one. I think there are better ones you can put on. I think like Private Eyes, which I think is them, or Man Eater. Man Eater, I think is my favorite Hall & Oates song. I would definitely put that on this list, or I Can't Go for that. But as for She's Gone, yeah, solid one. Assuming that this is not the only Hall & Oates song we see on this list.
Chance, I'm not going to lie. You went exactly 3 for 3 of the songs that I would have picked for Hall & Oates as well. This song's really good, though. I mean, like, if I was going to pick a yacht rock song between this and What a Fool Believes, I'm going to pick She's Gone. Because that's saxophone in this song. Hall & Oates were like the masters of saxophones in yacht rock. Like, they knew when to incorporate a saxophone correctly. And it's just, once again, it's that lush instrumentation and production. Also, the fact that Daryl Hall is just a goddamn incredible vocalist. So, I'm happy it's here. Maybe a little high, but if it's going to be on the list,
I would not put it higher than Believe. I will say that. I would not put it higher than Believe.
Brooklyn.
So yeah, for all the people right now that are listening to Silk Sonic and they're like, man, this sound is incredible, you need to go listen to Hall & Oates. And other people in that vein. Also, if you're going to talk about masters of when to implement saxophone, Billy Joel would like to have a word with you. A lot of his songs incorporate saxophone quite well. But no, I like the tone that they have in the piano. Kind of very similar, like they kind of carry that tone through a lot of their songs. I think the only other song that I would put in this group would be Man Eater, and I think I would still put it below She's Gone. Just for the power that Hall kind of brings to it. Also, if there's one like double-edged sword of this song, it's the key change. It works, but then they overdo it. I think they do too many, and it just you're kind of at that point you're not waiting for it to resolve. You're just waiting for that to end to kind of see like where they go. I think anything after like 3 key changes, you're getting a little full of yourself, but yeah, no. Daryl Hall is an incredible singer. Even the piece, even like whenever he was on We Are the World.
I forgot he was in there.
Hey, that was for Africa, sir. You will not disrespect We Are the World.
I am so sorry I am so sorry to the continent of Africa for that. We apologize.
You know what?
Moving on. Well, actually, we apologize, but Feed the World and let them know it's Christmas time needs to apologize a lot more.
Yes, they do.
Number 3, 35.
Christmas.
Marshall Jefferson, Move Your Body, the house music anthem. I'm going to start off with this one. It's too damn long. It overstays its welcome so hard. It's 8 minutes. And after like minute 4, I'm like, I get it. I get what you're doing. Go. And like, if I'm at a club and this is playing and I'm plastered and I'm dancing with someone and I'm not paying attention, this song's probably great. Otherwise, it's too damn long. Brooklyn.
Pretty well everything that you said. I get why it's on here because this got sampled, I think, quite a bit. Maybe the best example would be, I think, Marky Mark's version of Good Vibrations.
Oh shit! I
Yeah.
just connected that.
But yeah, like I've heard this beast in like 1,000 different songs, but I feel like this is the first one. So for it not existing and then creating this, that in itself is incredible. But knowing how the genre would kind of evolve, this hasn't aged that greatest.
And Chance, what are your thoughts on the song? And do you think Good Vibrations is going to make it on here as well?
I mean, that better be top 10. If that's not top 10, I'm throwing a chair through a window. But no, so yeah, with this one, I think you had to put it on here because like this was the first like real like big hit for house music, and I mean, it's talking like bar what you said, like it's if I was drinking, if I was paying attention, I'd probably like this a lot more. That's kind of the point. Like that was the ideal condition that the song was made. It wasn't made for like everyday listening. It wasn't made for like listening intently to it. It's made for like like in the background people are dancing. So in that, I think it succeeds. It's not one that I would listen to unless I'm I'm like doing stuff around the house. But no, yeah, it's like a distraction song. So I get it. And like Brooklyn says, it's a song that's been sampled by so many other things that you kind of have to put it on here at some point. I think 35 is a little pricey, but again, I like the beat, I like the instrumentals to it. I think it's a fun house song.
Fair enough. And we're going to move on to 334, which is Ripple by the Grateful Dead. Chance, I know you're a Deadhead, so you start.
I am. No, I am. I do think that this epitomizes the kind of the strength of Grateful Dead because they were a band who they're really varied in what they could do as musical artists, and I think that this is one that again, kind of like with the Zombies time of the season, like this is a song you wouldn't expect from a band called the Grateful Dead. But it's actually quite nice. I do think it's like it's like 70s psychedelic, kind of scaled back song. And I do think that the greatest strength a band can have is when they can basically do it. They can do anything, not anything, but like they can kind of dip their toe into like a lot of different styles of music. And this feels like its own unique thing. And I think Grateful Dead have like a lot of songs that feel like their own unique kind of project. So yeah, I think the song is excellent.
So on the last episode, I think it was the last one at least, that the Grateful Dead also appeared with, I think it was Box of Rain. And I thought that one was just okay. This one I like a whole lot more, actually. I really like the almost saloon vibe that it has in this one. Because there's something about that sound, that style, that's very inviting. It's got this very, hey, we want you to sing along with us kind of vibe. It's a weird combination of like campfire and saloon. But I think it works really well for this song, actually. So probably not one that I would choose to listen to that often. But if it popped on the radio, I wouldn't change the channel. I think that I'm okay with this being here. Brooklyn.
I'm gonna be the grumpy person in the middle of you two. I don't think this song should be here. No, the Grateful Dead. I feel like there's an alternate version of me where I didn't fall in love with like the Eagles and Fleetwood Mac, and instead I followed like the Grateful Dead and like the Byrds and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. These guys are fine, but if I'm being 100% honest, I throw on this song and I want to listen to Lion Eyes. I think Lion Eyes sort of does the same thing, but I like the story in that one a little bit better. Give this one time to sit, and I could probably change my mind on it. But upon initial glance, it's another like you could. I honestly think you could throw this on at like 250, and this is the perfect song in the median. Like it's not like the greatest song ever, but it's not like the worst song I guess on this list.
Fair. I'm very curious to hear what at the end of the year, Brooklyn, let's pick our top 10 worst songs that are on this list or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to 333. Papa Was a Rolling Stone by the Temptations. Brooklyn, let's have you start with this one.
All right. I appreciate everything that is happening in this song. Production-wise, this is an incredible song. I think it builds up the tension really well. But similar to the Grateful Dead's Ripple, where like upon first glance it just wasn't for me. I need a few more listens of this. Like I feel like I need to listen to this 4 or 5 times in a row just to kind of get into that groove and let all those little nuances kind of shine. But yeah, I understand what's going on and kind of like the effort that's being put behind it. But I haven't found that thing yet to kind of attach to.
I'm going to have Chance go next because I want to double check something.
Yeah, so I absolutely love the Temptations. They're one of my favorite groups, one of my favorite singers of all time. And this isn't my favorite Temptations song, but it's maybe their most well put together song. In that musically, I think it's the most impressive. Lyrically, I think it might be the most impressive. And in fact, this comes from an era where, like R&B groups would they would do this constantly, where they would work in it would be a slow build partially because they want to build up the song and partially because they would work in the outfit changes and the dance breaks from their actual shows into the record. So it's 2 or 3 minutes instrumental before you even get to the actual words in this song. But no, yeah, I think the Temptations they're a perfect blend of talent and unity, I'll say, because they just clicked so incredibly well. And like I said, not my favorite Temptations song. That would probably be "Ain't Too Proud to Beg" for me. But I do think maybe they're most well put together, and a lot of people would argue this is their masterpiece, and I wouldn't disagree with them.
So I'm not gonna lie. I thought this song was originally produced by Holland, Dozier, and Holland, and it's not. So. It's that's throwing me off so much because the production on the song is incredible.
Yeah,
just the layering in the song is perfect. Where the bass is, and then where you add the strings, where the vocals are in the mix. It's just an incredible sound. And honestly, I'm also with Chance. The Temptations are one of my favorite groups of all time. I have listened to them since I was an 8-year-old boy. My dad played them all the time, and this was one song that he always played. It's a 7-minute song, and it doesn't feel like that at all. Because I think it's something about the cinematic kind of sound that it has, which it's so easy to listen to and enjoy. It's 2 minutes until the vocals come in. I actually clocked that. And if this was just a straight up instrumental piece, I probably wouldn't have cared. I probably would have loved it either way.
The instrumental sound like a 70s cop movie, but
doesn't it? That's exactly what you expect.
They're trying to ease you in to the whole story they're telling.
But yeah, this song is incredible. The lyricism is fantastic. Just the vocals in general. The dichotomy between, I can't remember their voices, but the deep voice and the more high falsetto tenor. It's just a perfect blend. It's a perfect concoction of a song, even if it's 7 minutes long. All right. And with that, we're going to move to 332. Wow. Okay. Umbrella by Rihanna featuring Jay-Z. I'm going to have Chance start with this one.
I did not know. I did not know this was going to be. I didn't know the order of the list. I thought it might have been randomized when you sent it to me. But okay. I wouldn't have it above Papa's Rolling Stone, but that's just taking the song on its own merits. Well, because I was the right age when this was coming along. This 2007. I was a preteen. I was a preteen. The song came out, and this was Rihanna's big hey, I'm here, and I think this was a really fantastic coming out party for her because even listening to that, it's been years I've listened to this song in full, but. This song, I will say, this song kind of slaps. I think the beat is great. I love Jay-Z's contributions to it. I think it's well produced, and Rihanna as a vocalist, I think she's fantastic. I think she would go on to do more mature work in the future, but I do think that this is where her roots at. I do think you could still argue it's one of her best, and it's one that I will always think of when I think of Rihanna.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, this song is great. I forget which episode we were talking about it, but it was like songs that really need kind of like 1 second or a note, like 1 second or a note. You need the hi hat, and you need that one hi hat, and you're already there. Like you know what song this is. I would argue that this song kind of gets forgotten in the grand scheme of things when it comes to 2000s. I know whenever when I had initially looked at the list before I did all the mix-ups and whatnot, it's like, oh yeah, this song was like really popular when I was in junior high. But yeah, also, I know one thing we don't talk about enough about these, the music video for this, one of the greatest, hasn't aged super well, but just I think it's like iconic with like the like whenever she's like flinging the water around, and then it changes over to that very like sunburst sort of effect on the camera, and it's kind of not weird to say, but you almost forget that Jay-Z is in this song afterwards, other than the intro.
Yeah, if I'm not incorrect, I think the song was getting passed around to so many different people before it reached Rihanna. And honestly, I can't imagine anyone else on this song. I remember when this song first came out, and I was young, but I immediately knew that this song was going to be a smash. I didn't like it at the time, but now I friggin' love it. I stand by my statement that I think I've made before, that Madonna's great, but I think Rihanna is the true queen of pop. I think that
really Rihanna's okay.
Yeah, I stand by that too, and this song is a perfect example. She just carries that groove so perfectly. She slips into that pocket that the beat creates, and she knows exactly where to go and how to control it, and how to like make it work with her. And Jay-Z's introduction to this song is perfect. And what Brooklyn said about the hi-hat, absolutely true. That hi-hat is just perfectly placed in this mix. And whoever did the percussion work on this song, genius. Brilliant. I really love this song a lot. I might place it in the 200s personally.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I know. Before I embarrass myself any further, 331. Please, Mr. Postman by the Marvelettes. I love this song. Do I think that it's a little high? A smidge. But this is another song from my childhood, actually. I had a weird childhood. But there's just something about the Marvelettes and how they deliver the song. It's just so good. The melody is strong. The production is solid. It kind of got that Spectre kind of production to it, that almost that wall of sound. But it's just a delightful classic pop song, like pre-Beatles era pop song that it holds up very well. Chance.
Might have been pre-Supremes too. Now I'm looking at the dates.
Maybe.
Yeah, but no, yeah, this is one that I think that's a lot of people discovered this because of Captain Marvel, because they do make reference to this song in the movie. But no, yeah, this is a great little tune. If you like that whole, like, I know it's the '60s, but it feels like the '50s, like doo-wop kind of styling of music, and I do like that. I think the vocals. I don't know how many of the Marvelettes there are, but they're all fantastic on this song. And yeah, no, it's funny. Like listening to this again, I think you can see it's like a prototype for New Edition, Mr. Telephone Man, where it's them trying to get a letter from their significant other, but like they're not getting anything. And yeah, I do see that parallel, and then I really think about it. But yeah, no, this song is great.
I would also say that what's the name of that one indie band that had like that fluke hit a few years ago with Feel It Still? Portugal the Man. Portugal the Man owes a lot of their success to this song because they take
Oh,
this
this,
melody.
yeah, yeah. I haven't thought about that song in a year, but I think about like, oh yeah, this is the exact melody.
Yeah, listen to it back to back, folks. The chorus is exactly the same. Brooklyn.
Yeah, you're right. I just realized that now. Like, yeah,
Like,
US
I've been
Still is
listening in my
just
head, but it's like, oh shit.
yeah. It's just like it's kind of like there's I feel like that'd be a really good series because like Daniel Thrasher is a big YouTube guy and he's done a series called writing songs that already exist and it's like yeah you could do that.
I gotta watch that.
Okay, can you slow this down for a second? Or yeah, slow this down. It's like yeah, you're playing this one. No, this is an incredible pop song. This is the first time I'd heard it was for this list, and that first line right away kind of takes you in. I almost want to say this is the perfect song to wash dishes to because it can turn anything that you're doing into like a joyous time. Like you're just gonna like you're instantly gonna stop and dance. I think to this kind of song. And ultimately, songs are the best form of escapism. And if it can do that, then it's a pretty damn good song.
Yeah. I'm going to have to check out that series you're talking about later, though. So, 3:30, the Notorious B.I.G. with Big Papa. I was about to start, doing the song, and then I realized I might be a little too late for that. Let's start with you, Brooklyn.
I mean, shout outs to Jeff Ryu, the person who has a nickname to this beat or for this or whatever. But I love you mentioned the dichotomy of the song earlier. I love the low register that you get from Big, and then that super high synth all throughout. I think that balances out really well. I forget if it's Mace or P Diddy that's in there with him.
It's P Diddy. It's P Diddy.
Yeah, it's P Diddy. And you just kind of hear him, and like in one of the verses, like how you live in Biggie Smalls and Mansion and Benz's, but just the swagger and the flow that he has in this, every time. Like I don't think there is anybody as impactful. Maybe Andre 3000 is the only other person that I think is so prolific in like where they are on the beat and kind of how they command the song from that. This is probably the second Notorious B.I.G. song we're going to see on here. There should be another one higher. But I'm also really curious to what Chance has to say. Because before some of you guys joined the community, he was part of a team called Notorious. Oh my God, what was the name of that team?
It was the Notorious Chance. My podcast is Notorious by Chance.
Yeah.
Where I'm going to save Chance for last, actually.
Okay.
Because I want to say that
back of the bus. Okay, cool.
That great Outkast song, Rosa Parks, should be on this list. But so Christopher Wallace was a genius. I think the man was a literal genius. Because his rhyme schemes are so detailed and intricate, and just the way that he's able to like bend the melody in order to like get the pocket and just like sit in there so perfectly is just some of the smartest writing and smartest delivery you will hear in any hip hop artist. The dude was a literal genius, and this was a perfect example of like a song to show to prove that, because just the flow that he delivers on this song is incredible. The way that he's able to ride that groove with the lyrical detail and just the way that this song is crafted is impeccable. Chance.
Yeah, I think that I have a lot to say about Notorious B.I.G. Obviously, nothing negative though, because I do think that Notorious B.I.G. is one of the greatest rappers of all time, and this song kind of encapsulates between like West Coast and East Coast rap, because that's a big feud at the time. Whereas you had like West Coast rap, which I quote, I equate to like rock and roll. East Coast rap was more like smooth jazz. It was more thoughtful. It was more like lyrically driven. It didn't have to go as heavy or as hard with the beat. and Biggie is the absolute king of East Coast rappers. Like the fact that he could just be like, he was smooth, he was strangely sexy, and the fact that again, calling me Big Papa, like this is the thing that like, people looked at this and it's like, damn, like you are just someone I want to be. Like he was. I mean, not like the crime stuff, but like as someone like people looked up to, people wanted to be like the fact of the guy who didn't look like a traditional rapper, didn't look like a traditional musical artist that could garner this kind of following. The fact that he could do all that, just looking and acting like he does, it's really incredible. I think Big Papa it's an absolute classic in terms of '90s rap. It's one that if you did a list of like top 10 '90s rap songs, it's easily like top 2 or 3, maybe 2 or 3. You're gonna have at least one Biggie song in the top 10. It could be this one. I personally have one above this, but Big Papa is an excellent song.
Yeah, I am highly expecting one other Biggie Small song to be on this list in a higher section. I would be heartbroken if it wasn't. So moving on to 329, we have. Okay, I'm gonna butcher this so hard, but it's like Safeara by Bad Bunny. What was it?
Safeara.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Safeara.
Safeara. Okay. I'm going to start with this mainly because I don't think this song should be on this list, to be completely honest with you. But it's also, unfortunately, with reggaeton, it doesn't always click with me. Sometimes it does. This is just one where I'm like, it's not working for me, but I think it's because it's trying to be Travis Scott in the sense that it's trying to do whatever that big, what's the name of that Travis Scott song that he did with Drake? I'm blanking on it so hard. Yeah, we'll all like scream at ourselves later in the mirror. But I think the song is trying to be that in the sense that there's so many different like sections. It's sort of like trying to be Bohemian Rhapsody in that sense, where there's just so many unique sections of the song that it's just not piecing together for me. Also, I'd like to bring up some of these lyrics translated into English.
Oh, jeez.
You have a nice ass. Whatever you put on looks amazing. And she sucks my lollipop. She gets on her knees. How dare you, mommy, come in without panties? And also, finally, my favorite one, parents, cover your ears, your kids' ears if they are listening. Put pussy with dick, dick with ass. Yes, pussy with dick, dick with ass. Push it in. Your tits rubbing my nipples. Yeah, that's just like top 500 songs of all time material. I think that there are other reggaeton songs that actually do deserve to be in here. This is just not one of them. Brooklyn.
So there's only one person that I know of that has been able to be involved in WWE and still be successful, and that was Lemmy with Motorhead. He did songs for Triple H and Evolution, and that's it. Bad Bunny is currently involved in a WWE storyline. I forgot what it is, but like, if that is a side of things, because like the only other people is like Pitbull and Flo Rida, and their careers have not turned out that great since. But yeah, no, this song wants to be Timbaland in a way, because like there's like one of these sections straight up steals the guitar line from Get Your Freak On.
Oh shit!
Yeah. And then it's because as soon as I heard that, I'm like, oh, like I understand a sample, but when you're trying to go for that medley style approach, I don't know if you can do samples without the samples themselves kind of telling a story.
Chance.
Yeah, Bad Bunny. I think of all the songs I listen to on this list, this is probably my least favorite. I don't think it's deserving on this list at all. I think it's on the list because Bad Bunny is like, he's huge right now.
Yeah.
Like you look at concert tickets. Concert tickets go for like $1,000, and that's for like shitty like nosebleed seats. Um, but yeah, this is the one that like I don't think it stands out among other reggaeton songs because I grew up in South Texas. I grew up listening to this like constantly, and I don't understand the obsession with him or this song. Like you said, like it's so incoherent that like you forget that you're listening to the same song. Like you think like the record switched. You think the song switched on you and you don't realize it. So yeah, I would never even dream of putting it above a lot of. I don't think I would be putting it above anything that's below it. I don't understand why is it this high.
This is above Paranoid.
Yeah, it's about Paranoid, it's about Big Papa.
This is above Big Papa. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Look, and before anyone says anything in the comment section, I don't hate Bad Bunny. I actually think that
Perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, they've got talent, but this song just no, not above things like Big Papa. All right, moving on to 328, Under the Bridge by Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm not shocked at all that this song is here. In fact, I thought this song might be a little higher, like scraping the bottom 200. But yeah, this song is incredible. Just Anthony Kiedis on this song is just perfect. His delivery of these lyrics, the weariness that he has in his vocals, it's just incredible. And with like that dream-like almost guitar line, Flea's bass line being very subtle as compared to a lot of their other songs, it just creates this incredible atmosphere that when you combine the lyrics and you know what the lyrics are about, it hits you like a wall. So I'm very happy it's here. I would have thought it was a little higher, but still, Chance.
Yeah, Red Hot the Chili Peppers are a band that people either like really like or really hate. I'm somewhere in the middle. There are a lot of songs I really do like. I'm just not like I'm not like super big into them. This is one I definitely really like a lot. I think it's definitely the most personal song when you realize it's about Anthony Kiedis, looking at his life, looking at his drug, losing his friend to a heroin overdose, former RHCP lead guitarist, I can't think of his name, but did die of heroin overdose. And this is kind of him like coping with that and realizing like I need to clean up, like really reevaluating his life. And yeah, I really love the section before it gets into like really like musically heavy. Not that the musically heavy section is bad. I just really love like where it's just Kiedis and the guitar and the bass riff. I think this is I think lyrically and musically it's just an absolutely beautiful song.
And Brooklyn.
This is the best Red Hot Chili Peppers song, I think, objectively. I think personally, if we're up to me, there might be one other song above this, and I think that's more so because it encapsulates all four members of the band. Josh Crescienti is doing incredible guitar work here. The intro in this is one of my favorites. And then how it transitions, because how this transitions is really cool. The lyrics you mentioned, this is actually a song that I used to play at open mic a lot. So the second verse is probably my favorite. But the third verse is probably my favorite. It's hard to believe there's nobody out there. It's hard to believe that I'm all alone. If she sees my good deeds and kisses me windy, I'll never worry. Now that is a lie. Just kind of like the subtlety in that. And how this song ends, and then it kind of just, instead of having that big sort of send off, it fades out naturally. It kind of cuts everything out to where it's back to being just Kiedis and the guitar. I know you mentioned earlier, Andrew, where Flea's doing incredible bass work, and you're absolutely right. He was known a long time for just doing slap style, and this showed that he is able to be composed and kind of fill in everything else.
And one thing I want to bring up before we move on is that when the choir comes in, and it's just such a powerful moment. It is angelic almost, which gives the City of Angels a real extra level to this song. So with that, we're going to move to 327, Real Love by Mary J. Blige. Let's start with Brooklyn on this one.
This is not the Mary J. Blige song that I would throw on here. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Family Affair?
I can hear the hook. I can.
Oh yeah.
That's scary. No, where I can't find it, but anyways, but no, this one's really cool. I didn't realize this was Mary J. Blige until I had listened to the song for the list, because I feel like I've heard this so many times in like just like random '90s mixes. But unfortunately, the only thing I remember in this song is the chorus and kind of how that pays off.
Chance.
I think this is just being listed the same way that like Rihanna's Umbrella is on the list, in that it may not be her most like musically sticking, but this is her like I believe this is her first like major hits. It was her big coming out, like her big I've arrived song. I do think it's still catchy, especially like at this time. This is where a lot of big R&B singers came out who were like these incredible talents who felt like like they're trying to be like the next Whitney. Like this is around the time Mariah Carey came out as well. But yeah, no, I do love Mary J. Blige. Again, not my personally not my favorite, but I do think it's a very deserving entry on this list. I think the instrument's fantastic. It's super memorable. I've never forgotten the tune of this song, and I never forgotten the chorus either. I do think it's like it has staying power, so I do think it's a worthy entry on this list.
I'm kind of in a place where I agree with both of you. When you say the name of this song, then I immediately think of the chorus. I immediately remember like how the melody goes and all that. But I also do agree that it is Family Affair, the song that you were trying to think of earlier. That song is the one I would probably choose between the two. But I think Real Love is still a really great song that does deserve a spot on this list. The piano in this song is what really like ties the song together, in my opinion. It's the instrumentation. When you combine it with Mary J. Blige's voice, it's just the perfect mix. And it's just got that smooth bounce that, the 90s R&B scene had, which was just, I kind of missed that, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, no, the song's great. I'm happy it's on the list. So with that, we're going to move on to the last song of the episode, which is... Technical difficulties here, folks. Stay with us.
Hang in there.
All right. Well, luckily, I can pull it up on my phone. Portions for Foxes by Rilo Kiley. I've never been able to pronounce that name right. I hope I got it right that time. There we go. Portions for Foxes. I can totally see why this song is on this list. I really enjoy this song a lot, actually, because it kind of falls into that mid-2000s indie rock scene sound that I really love. It's probably one of my favorite eras of music. It's like right before the Killers made their like big breakthrough, and other groups like that, like Modest Mouse and things, and bands. It is one of those songs that I do think is a little too high on this list, though. But considering it's apparently tied to one of the most favorite scenes of Grey's Anatomy, I'm not surprised that it got the big following that it did. So I really like this song a lot. In fact, I feel like if I listened to this a lot more, it probably would make my top 500. I just think that it might be a little high compared to some of the other things that we've covered. Brooklyn.
Yeah, I've heard this song before. I can't remember the Grey's Anatomy scene that you're talking about. But yeah, it's good. This would probably, of all the songs that we've talked about so far on the show, this would probably be the one that I would throw on 501. Where it's just like it's good, but there's nothing about it that makes it stand out of like the indie rock genre, like of the songs to pull out from there. I'm not sure what it is about this one.
It's one that I definitely think the more I hear it, the more it will definitely grow on me. Chance.
Yeah, this is one that I hadn't heard of before this show, and I actually quite liked it. I liked it quite a bit. I don't know if I have it quite this high. But I do think that I think the solid song is one I could definitely see myself listening to more in the future because like you, Bar, I do like like that early 2000s like indie rock feel, where it just felt like everyone was trying to had this like bluegrass type of feel songwriting to them. And I do like that here. It's just one that's, I mean, their song below that I've heard way more that I think should be way higher. But and I think this is a solid song.
Yeah. All right, and with that, we are at the end of this section of the list. Chance, what I do at the end of every episode is I ask everyone on the panel if you could pick one of these songs, just one of these songs, if you were on the voting panel to immediately shoot into the top 100 overall, which one song would you pick?
It's so close. I would lean slightly towards Big Papa, but Papa's Got a Brand New Bag is like right there. Or Papa's a Rolling Stone. Papa's a Rolling Stone, like right there.
Papa Got a Brand New Bag.
I was about to say, I think Brooklyn and I must have like zoned out during that section.
You forgot? We talked about the whole song.
Did we? What did I say? I hope it was good things.
It was good things.
Oh, good.
Papa Got a New Bag. I think it was the bag they used in House of Gucci.
I hate you so much sometimes, but I love you.
Brooklyn, what would you pick? I make it the pizza.
She's a real firecracker.
This is one of the few sections that I had a tough time putting a song into the top 100. I would put Under the Bridge there, but I would also say that Under the Bridge probably doesn't need to be in the top 100.
So, are you picking Under the Bridge?
I'm picking Under the Bridge, but I'm saying of the list that we've talked about so far, this is the only list where I was like, none of these songs could be in the top 100. And I'd be
okay, I got you. I was split between a few songs, Angel from Montgomery, then also 1999, Believe, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, Umbrella, and Big Papa were probably the ones that I was deciding the most between. I'm going to pick Angel from Montgomery, though. The production on that, the songwriting, the delivery, is all perfect. It's beautiful. But Chance, thank you so much for joining us. We loved having you on. We would love to hopefully have you again in the future.
Oh, yeah,
sure. Any last thoughts before we sign off?
No, yeah, this is really fun. Thank you for having me. I'd love to come back.
All right, thank you. For those of you watching, Chance is a part of the Movie Trivia Schmodown. Check out his matches. Definitely like the videos that he's in. Brooklyn, any last thoughts before we go?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, with that, I'm Andrew James Bard. That's Brooklyn Vale. That's Chance Ellison. And keep on rocking. And we end the podcast by pushing the end product.